What up, YouTube? It's Rob Monty here to bring you guys some more wrestling news. Alright, so what's on today's agenda? There's a lot of AEW and Tony Khan news today. John Moxley is going to be speaking in an interview. And then we also got Bruce Pritchard also giving us comments about if writers from Hollywood were well adapted to WWE. Also, we also got some New Japan news, some more MLW news, more news on Cain Velasquez, and other stuff. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. Alright. Let's turn this window capture on, and here we are. In our first of many articles that we're going to be going through. This is AEW. As most of you guys know, Dynamite this week and some pictures on Instagram. Basically, many of the AEW talent have been hanging around UFC fighters who are getting ready for a UFC 249 pay-per-view events. And in fact, they are sharing the same hotel in Jacksonville, Florida. So you guys will get to see some of this on Instagram today with all the different stars. I think Kenny Omega has taken a picture with what you call Anderson Silva, so that's awesome. And here we go with Ariel Helwani, who basically wrote on his Twitter saying, 2 major events are happening in Jacksonville this week: UFC 249 and AEW tapings. Coincidentally, all fighters and wrestlers and personnel for both organizations are staying in the same hotel. So this is going to be a fun time, I guess. For a lot of you guys who are fans of UFC and a lot of fans who are fans of AEW, which I don't see the difference. I mean, with UFC, I guess most of the fans who like real fighting like UFC, and they're like, wrestling, meh. And then wrestling fans who like UFC, it's the same thing, meh. And then there's a bunch of us in the middle who love both sports altogether. We're probably all enjoying this because we're going to get to see some of our favorite talent with AEW and the talent of the UFC, which is pretty cool. Check out your guys' Instagrams if you guys see anything. Alright, speaking of AEW, we're going right into it. Tony Khan has explained and discussed how much money AEW has lost due to COVID-19. And this is what he had to say. And I'd love to have those millions of dollars in gates back, but they're not coming back. Eventually, we'll do shows in these cities and do great, but these weeks are gone. I have to face that. We're such a hot run we had at Rochester. It was going to be one of our most profitable shows. Khan said, it was Brody Lee's hometown. We got Matt Hardy and Brody Lee coming in. We're doing Blood and Guts next week, the biggest gate, the biggest crowd. Then going into April, I was so excited. We had such good business heading into April. Again, this hot run between Revolution and Double or Nothing. We're going to go do Milwaukee, St. Louis, and we're going to get back these great wrestling markets. I can't wait to play these cities. So for those of you guys who don't know, Tony Khan, much like WWE, who has been running empty arena shows, is feeling the effects of what COVID-19 has happened. I stated this several times since Black Wednesday, that if WWE is doing bad, I'm pretty sure AEW is doing bad as far as the box office draws. Biggest difference is Vince is only like somewhere in the 2 million or billion range, where Tony Khan's that Khan family has more millions and more billions due to various other businesses. But seeing how COVID-19 has affected the wrestling world in general, it's even cost them millions of dollars that they could have made during COVID-19, this whole COVID-19 pandemic. So, you know, when you see the 2 wrestling companies that are the biggest companies in America suffering, that's when you know the wrestling business is suffering from the COVID-19 impact. Which New Japan is probably smart, but I think New Japan's also spending a lot of money on the talent right now because they're not working, but they're getting paid still. All right, so basically, what he's saying, guys, is this. Is that he was excited to do all these great shows because they were going to be great shows for the fans that would have had millions drawn. Especially with the one with Brody Lee and Matt Hardy debuting, because that was going to be their debut, and it was in Brody Lee's hometown. And let's put it this way, he didn't get the numbers that he was hoping for, because of the fact that the gates could not be accessed. Blood and guts, too. And now, even the possibility of double or nothing. So, for him, he knows this has not been an easy situation for the industry as a whole. And then he also shares some other news. So here's the thing about Tony Khan, like WWE, who has given us our updates of what they're doing as far as protecting their employees and talents. Even though there is a big sign of them not, doing the social, inherent. What's that word I'm looking for? Fuck. I guess observing social distancing, because there's a lot of reports on that. Tony Khan is also sharing what AEW has been doing as well, as far as COVID-19 has been going. And basically, he wrote, AEW is live tonight at TNT, 8 p.m., much like how WWE has been doing testing for COVID-19. He has announced that every one of them on staff, talent-wise, and himself have tested negative for COVID-19, in which basically they're taking the best precautions possible, and it will be a great show. And tonight will be, in fact, the debut of Matt Hardy, and Kenny Omega will be teaming up with him, going against the Le Sex God. So, for those of you guys who want to know what the card is for tonight's Dynamite, as announced, main event's going to be Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, the Sex Gods, apparently that's what they call themselves. I think they're too gay, almost, in my opinion. And they're going to face Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. And then also tonight, we're going to also see Frankie Kazarian going one-on-one with Jon Moxley. So that's going to be an awesome match. MJF is going to make a return. And then we're also going to see Cody go one-on-one with Joey Janela. Good matches. Looking forward tonight. I mean, I'm looking forward to that Kazarian and Moxley match. That's for sure. To hear what MJF has to say, that's something to look forward to. I think this Cody match versus Joey Janela, I already know who's going to win that match, sadly. And if Joey Janela wins, it's because of Lance Archer somehow. But as far as the Street Fight Tag Team match, I think that's what a lot of people are looking forward to. I could care less, in my opinion, but that's just because I feel like they overdo when Kenny Omega is in the match. And I've seen Matt Hardy and Jericho 1,000 times. The only one that's interesting in there is Sammy Guevara, and that's a compliment for me. All right, next, Jon Moxley reveals what Roddy Piper had given him as advice. And he basically said, Roddy Piper once told me I had a pretty good relationship with him. One time he came to SmackDown or something. I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but I was out there wrestling and I did something and I was just kind of soaking the adulation of the crowd or playing the crowd or something like that, He came back and found me. He's like, you went too much babyface or something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, don't even worry about them. He's like, you look at at the guy's shoes. Basically saying you stayed focused on your opponent. You're the hurt to him kind of thing. And then he goes back to, and then he goes in reminiscing about Piper's entrance in 1996 Starrcade as an example of immersing yourself in the moment. If you go back and watch one of the best instances, you'll see, again, a weird tangent, but one of the best instances you'll ever see is Roddy Piper Starrcade against Hulk Hogan, where he beat Hogan with the sleeper, but yet it's somehow inexplicably not for the title, world title, I think. If you watch Piper's entrance, from the moment he walks through the curtain, his eyes are locked on Hogan, and it's just like it's like a death march to the ring, even though he was in his 50s with an artificial hip. When you watch that and you watch the entrance, you're like, dude, this dude's going to war. So there you go, and I think that's great. I think that's great advice because, for one, anything coming from Piper's mouth that's going to teach you something, you know it's going to be something real. Because Piper got over, guys. Piper got so over that you didn't even care about how good the match was. You just wanted to know how well Piper and Hogan or whatever they did, you know. So I think that was best advice, and I think Moxley's been living that advice. You know, he's been a good example to it. Except that one time he decides to go jack off to the audience and say, I did this for you! I did it for the company! This title belongs to you! Eh. I mean, really, that's just jacking off to the fans, in my opinion. And I guess that's what Piper was trying to tell him during that time on SmackDown, so I don't know. So, alright guys, so basically with this, what you guys think? Do you think Moxley is living that advice of going to the ring and keeping his eyes on shoes, or is he focusing on you guys too damn much? Let us know in the comments. Alright. Now, MLW has made it back in the news today as they are announcing a new multi-year international distribution deal. So, basically they have made a deal where they will be able to be on Fight Globe distribution, and they will have programming in Europe, Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, Canada, and Mexico. So MLW, guys, is going global, and it's becoming one of the fastest growing global professional wrestling organization. Now, you got to ask yourself, how is it that AEW was able to go global before MLW? I'll tell you why. Because MLW, when you look at their roster, there's not that much of a great main event roster, though the matches on MLW are really, really great. I actually like the talent roster they got, and a lot of the matches they've been doing, you know. So for me to think that, man, why aren't these guys in talks of being one of the top global promotions, you know? Yet AEW in a matter of a year becomes a big thing. Well, okay, of course, because you have Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, right? Or Cody Rhodes. I guess that's one thing you could say. But, guys, if you're a fan of Major League Wrestling like I am, they will Court Bearer has announced that they are going global. So, guys, gotta check them out. It's a multi-year distribution deal right here. Let's take a look. Let's kick ass for it. Alright, next on the news. Alright. The Street Profits reveal what Paul Heyman told them when they joined Raw. And they go on, Montez Ford says, yeah, Paul, Paul's that guy. He's like, he has a mind like any other. He knows exactly what works, what doesn't work. He knows what things to carve. He just knows the ins and outs of everything. And if you didn't really know, he's an advocate for possibly, arguably, one of the greatest wrestlers, superstars of all time, Brock Lesnar. Dawkins said how Heyman helped him. He's one of the guys who, as soon as we got up there, he was like, yeah, y'all be y'all. We brought you up here for a reason. Y'all be y'all. Don't do anything else. Just be the Street Profits. Do what the Street Profits would usually do. This is just like NXT for you. And we're like, alright, it's cool. He gave us the keys and ran with it. Everybody plays a hand, but it just essentially came down to do what you do normally. And they entrusted us enough to be able to do it. And when we look back, honestly, anytime we began to teeter or not really be like the Street Profits, a little bit be like, whoa, remember, you're the Street Profits. Keep the same energy. I think everyone plays a part in the things that we've done, but at the end of the day, it comes down to us putting on a show in front of the camera and making everybody happy. And then Montez Ford also wanted to go on Bianca Belair's debut on the main roster. He goes, for the most part, it's a day-by-day thing. It's one of those things where the situation happens. you pretty much get tasked to go with it. I think confusion in it is, do we have a say in it and whatnot, but it's just more made sense for the important moment to happen at WrestleMania. I just thank God I was fortunate enough for it to happen with my wife, my brother by my side, tag team champions at WrestleMania. Just amazing. It all happened at the same time, man. And I'm gonna say this. I agree with Heyman. The Street Profits need to be the Street Profits because they are doing great shit on Raw right now. I see a bright future with both men in the WWE. I also see a bright future for Bianca Belair, obviously. And I'm kind of glad that they got to share that WrestleMania moment, that first WrestleMania moment that they got to be with each other, and winning the tag titles and Bianca making her debut. That's pretty cool. Alright, so next on the news, I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm gonna give you guys a brief summary of what this is. This is ACH for all of you people who also know him as Albert Hardy, aka Jordan Miles, and he basically wanted to go over his T-shirt controversy in an interview, and his initial reaction to it was that his heart hurt. Basically, when that shirt released, it made him so angry, he just started saying all kinds of crazy shit that was brought out of him through that whole thing, because it's always the way he felt about other companies such as Ring of Honor, saying that he's just a high flyer. He felt like a joke. That's basically what he's saying here. He didn't like the idea that he was having a smiling gimmick, but it was just something that Vince wanted him to do. And he smiled like a fucking idiot for it. But he did, and he said he did it because it was his job. And having fun before the shirt. He said he had the time of his life. He actually enjoyed being on WWE's roster before the shirt thing. And which led to him also explaining that the situation that he was lied to about him approving the shirt and Triple H was the one who had the vision. Honestly, I'm going to say this. Why didn't you put your foot down, dude? And quite honestly, the damn logo does not look like a smile. I swear to God, guys, every time I go back to Jordan Miles' situation, everybody keeps saying it's blackface, it's blackface. It's a fucking cheap design of Diesel! Or frickin' Kevin Nash's old logo. It's a red thing with white lettering. Okay, does it look like a fucking Mountain Dew? That's up to you to decide. I don't think it does. It looks like a normal cheap-ass logo, in my opinion. And as far as I'm concerned, he should have just let that fucking thing slide, and he would be doing great things right now. And then he also goes on to explain, has he been in touch with WWE? Well, he said he hasn't heard anything since, except for when he gets a merchandise check or selling the T-shirts or the Supercard from SummerSlam. And quite honestly, I kind of expected that, guys, because, he really bashed them the wrong way, which basically, tells them, hey, you're not for us. It's a big deal. So, if anything, I think he needs to go talk to them, not they come talk to him, And his mom really wants him back in the WWE because that's where he belongs. That's what she feels. And you want my honest opinion? I think so, too. But you know what? He needs to go make amends with them, and he got to fix this situation. That's my honest opinion. Alright. What you guys think? Do you think he's in the right for not talking or not getting any, my honest opinion, he needs to go work that situation out if he wants to be back with them, That's just my honest opinion. Okay? Alright, so for my overall opinion, guys, of this, like I said, I think Jordan Miles or ACH should be the one to go apologize and start talking to WWE. Because they're not going to talk to him. I mean, he buried the fucking company pretty bad. And he buried the entire wrestling industry and the wrestling fans in that perspective. And he's coming out and says, yeah, I should have said something better and more intelligent. But I was just mad. That's what he was saying. I say this. Apologize to your fans because your fans, they deserve better respect in that. I mean, they're the ones who are making sure you have your job and you're getting paid, you know? Because we're the ones paying the ticket to go see you, you know? Second, I feel like he should apologize to the WWE, and I think WWE needs to apologize to Jordan Miles. There's no excuse for this. It's that damn racist, in my opinion. I think they need to go and apologize in that sense. But I think the two of them need to come see each other. And I think Jordan should be the one. I mean, Jordan Miles should be the one to go and talk to them. Because that will actually gain him more respect in the office than have someone talk for him. If you guys get what I'm saying. And as far as the company, if the company has to come look for you, guess what? They have better things to be worried about. Better things like producing the show, making sure other talent get over, making sure that they get, the company's not going to come after Jordan Miles. Jordan has to go to them. And it's not like he's Bruno Sammartino where he has a legacy that's greater than all, and you should because it's like, oh, the legend. No. With ACH, he should be the one to go up to them because he needs to apologize for his actions as well because that was pretty unprofessional in its own right. And I believe WWE in return should apologize to him. That's just my honest opinion on that part of the situation. I'm not saying that he needs to go kiss Vince's ass or whatnot. I'm not. I'm just saying you should go and work it out with them and be a man about it. Don't hide. Be a fucking man. That's the problem with our generation these days, guys. That there's not too many people out there wanting to be a man about their whole situation and take responsibility for what they done too, And they would rather blame it on something else. It's about, hey, standing up for yourself means being a man. Take responsibility for your shit. Simple. Also, I think the main person he should go apologize to, and I mean he should get on the phone real soon and apologize to this person. Because I feel like of everyone in that whole entire rant that ACH made back then it was just so wrong that he did this, and that was he ran down Jay Lethal and calling him an Uncle Tom when Jay Lethal probably was just trying to keep him in line, guys. So in my opinion is he needs to go apologize to Jay Lethal. Because I don't know where Jay Lethal came out of this, and instead of saying, he's an Uncle Tom, like, just because you're mad, you're going to call him an Uncle Tom. Maybe he was trying to be a mentor to your dumb ass. I mean, that's how it was with Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson in the beginning. I mean, Tony Atlas was young, naive, and Rocky Johnson put him in his place. So, I'm going to say this. I mean, I think if anybody deserves an apology the most, it's fucking Jay Lethal. That's just my honest opinion. Jay Lethal did not deserve that shit. And I think Booker T and Mark Henry also deserve some apologies because I know he disrespected them too. But that's just my opinion. I believe everybody is wrong in this entire situation, and I think Jordan Miles is just as bad as WWE because he thinks it's a race issue. I don't think it's a race issue at all. Though it can be turned into one easily just because of that damn logo on that t-shirt. Alright, enough of that already. New Japan has officially announced the cancellation of the 2020 Best of the Super Juniors tournament. So basically the Super Junior tour is canceled due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. That kind of sucks for all of us who are fans of New Japan's Super Juniors. And basically they sent out a message here saying, apologizing to the fans who were looking forward to these events. And they are as eager as everyone at New Japan to return. So, and basically, the events are going to be covered for cancellation. So, I guess refunds and reimbursements are going to be produced. And basically, this is going for the events of May 12th all the way to June 6th. So for all of you guys who were interested in seeing the Super Juniors tournament, the best of the Super Juniors, it's not happening this year, but you're going to get a refund if you did pay to go see them. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it, guys. This pandemic is fucking crazy, right? All right. Next on the list, Drew McIntyre reveals his reactions from Vince McMahon and Triple H on his WWE title reign, and where she basically says, the backstage reaction was non-existent because of the setup. There was nobody back there initially, so it was kind of weird. But you know, when I got to Mr. McMahon and Triple H, obviously we had such minimal personnel there. The people who were there, especially the crew who have watched me grow up, you know, everybody was very happy and very proud. I think Vince and Hunter themselves, they were just as happy, were just very happy to see that I finally kind of grown up and realized the potential they had seen me all those years ago. You know what? Come on, guys. Drew McIntyre deserves that. You know, he deserves everybody to applaud his title win. Unfortunately, I know it's going to be overshadowed by the circumstances of COVID-19. But come on, can we all just agree and accept Drew McIntyre as a true WWE World Champion? I know I do. So he deserves that kind of reaction from you guys when they get back. I don't know what your guys' state of mind will be for WWE at that point, but I know it's already negative just because of the fact of the empty arena shows. So, all right. And the fact of WWE's previous writings, I guess. But Drew McIntyre, guys, I think he should be proud of being world champion. Alright, next on the list, we got Adam Cole says that it is dream over prior to his match tonight with Velveteen. And also there's going to be Walter news. And if you guys want to know what tonight's NXT card is for tonight's show, we have the NXT Championship match. Adam Cole will be defending against Velveteen Dream. And then we'll also have the NXT Women's Championship on the line as Charlotte defends against Io Shirai. Then you have Johnny Gargano versus Dominic Dijakovic, if that's how you say it, I don't know. And you're also going to see the official debut of Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. So you guys want to check that out? That's going to happen, and I think that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see Killer Kross in a WWE ring and Scarlett Bordeaux. I mean, that's going to be awesome for tonight's NXT. Finn Balor is scheduled to appear as well, and then there's going to be more matches for the interim NXT title for the Cruiserweight Championship. All right, so that's going to be great. So, and this is what Adam Cole had to say about for tonight's show. And that is, tonight the dream is over. Is over. I am the greatest NXT champion of all time. I will be the greatest NXT champion of all time. Velveteen Dream is finished. And I'll laugh my ass off if Velveteen beats his ass, guys. I'm just saying. Also, Walter has stated some for NXT UK tomorrow. To us, the mat is sacred, and we will always do what must be done to protect it. We are proud of all we have accomplished together. For our support, to understand and appreciate just who we are, we invite you to watch a special episode of NXT UK tomorrow on the WWE Network. So, Walter is promoting tomorrow's NXT UK tomorrow. But, so, you guys want my honest opinion of what I see for tonight's matches? I see Velveteen Dream winning the championship, guys. I don't know if that's going to be going into the storyline, but I think Velveteen's going to finally become the NXT champion. NXT Women's Championship, I want Io Shirai to win, but I have a deep, sick feeling that Charlotte's going to win. I believe Gargano's going to beat Dijakovic, and I think Karrion Kross is just going to fucking rock. And I think Finn Balor, honestly, guys, when I see this NXT Championship match, I want Velveteen to win. I feel like he's going to win. But I think Finn Balor is going to be involved some way. Whether it's keeping Adam Cole as NXT champion or challenging the Dream for the championship. That will be something huge tonight. Actually, when I look at NXT's card, I'm actually more excited than the AEW card, to be honest. And then Charlotte Flair is commenting on NXT going head-to-head with AEW, and this is what she says. I try not to get caught up in the business side. When I have that opportunity to just highlight my opponent and myself, that's what we're here to do. Going into this match, we're trying to raise the bar. So that's going to be who. And she talks about Io Shirai, as we see. I want people coming out of this match thinking, Io is going to run this division. For me, on a personnel level, not that I'm comparing Io to Trish Stratus, but I'm feeling that same amount of pressure. I feel pressure before every match. But when Trish came back and wanted to wrestle me, all that I could think was, I hope I live up to her expectations. I hope I'm as good as she thinks, and I am. Multiple times I've told I'm Io's dream match. She said that herself, so I hope I'm the same Charlotte Flair she sees me in this competition. That's the pressure I'm feeling going into this. So, basically, Charlotte puts over Io Shirai, and basically is saying that when it comes to this match tonight, especially with NXT going head-to-head with AEW, she wants to make sure she does the best job possible so that they can raise the bar for the show. And more so, do her best to put herself and her opponent in a great viewpoint of the fans. I say that's a pretty good answer, in my opinion, for both topics. So I'm looking forward to that match, guys. Fuck, I'm gonna probably tune in to NXT more than I'm gonna tune into Dynamite tonight. That's awesome. All right, the Revolt reveal what Bret Hart told him, and basically what he told him when I read this, guys, is that he was proud of them for standing up for themselves, and now that they're now going to be out on their own and going somewhere elsewhere, probably AEW more than likely. Bret says he's proud of them for standing up for what they wanted, And they are exactly happy with that because Bret is the one guy who did stand up for himself, especially since he punched Vince in his last years of WWE. I'm going to say this. And they also, guys, in this article, they talk about how they want to leave because they want to be in the best tag team division or want to be able to do magic with the tag teams around them and not being overlooked. And that's what they are talking about here. In my opinion, are they overlooked in WWE? It's hard not to when you got New Day and Usos there, who are the two best tag teams. And then you want AOP to do well, and then you want, I think sometimes when it comes to fans in general, when it comes to guys like the Revival, they like them real that much. They want them to get over, but they can't get over. And sometimes WWE has no plans to get them over because they don't know what to do with them. I think a lot of people get upset by that, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, though. I mean, you got to get over that, If the Revival feel like that they are going to be able to do that in other places such as AEW or the Independents, then let them do so. I mean, they've already had a great run in the WWE. As much as you guys want to call it mediocre, winning multiple tag team championships in all three brands is pretty fucking good, in my opinion. To bitch and complain about it, you shouldn't really bitch and complain. You should be going out there and making the best matches you can, and that's what they're going to try and do now. So, I wish them the best, But, AKA, I'm going to say, fuck the Revolt. Alright, also, Epico today was in the news regarding information about Carlito. who was very close to returning to WWE. And this is what he had to say. We talked with Vince, and Michael Hayes was behind us, giving the signal, the okay. It sounds good. It sounds great. So let's bring Carly. But in all this process, 3 months happened, and politically, other people with power within WWE interfered. I don't know if Carly made this person mad, but when he called Carly, he offered him the money on a level of a developmental contract. Take it or leave it. So, of course, Carlito said, no, I don't need the WWE. The WWE needs me. So we understand that there was something interfering between us and Vince because we have a great relationship with Vince. One day, we were talking with the director of talent relations. We asked him and Carly, but he told us that Vince has not given the okay, so we told him, let's go talk to Vince. He was afraid, but we said to him, yes, we have confidence with Vince. So we grabbed him by the arm and we go to Vince's office. He's on the phone, and we asked him about Carly. And Carano asked us, what are we doing with Carly? Vince made the signals thumbs up. Vince approved the idea, but after several weeks, we realized Carly's return was no longer going to materialize. Honestly, I can understand why they would offer Carlito less money now. I mean, it sucks that he got offered that low ball of a deal, but when I think about it, they even inferred that he pissed someone off before, and you know what? And that's why they're probably saying Triple H. But knowing Carlito, his last run, guys, he was not motivated. He wasn't up to snot what WWE was worth wanting to pay him. So I can understand them giving him a lower contract just because of that. Alone, because for those of us who kept an eye on Carlito's release in WWE back 10 years ago, we look back at it and we know Carlito was not happy being there. He didn't necessarily care if he was going to do this and that. You know, he was somebody that WWE kind of looked as a problem child, and that's why they did not. That's probably why he's got the low contract now. He obviously pissed off somebody, and they were probably not happy with it back then. So giving him this contract now is probably just you owe us kind of deal. But of course, Carlito's taking it as you guys don't realize you need me more than I need you kind of thing. So, my honest opinion, I don't understand there, with Carlito. It's like, you caused a lot of bullshit before you left. Well, how could you not expect to get punished? But anyway, I hope Carlito just changes his mind, comes back, and does a one-off at least, Alright. Next, we're going to end this episode soon. So, Cain Velasquez plans on following his WWE release. He's planning to make a return to MMA. And he's along being a head coach with Javier Mendez. No, wait. My bad. An American Kickboxing Academy head coach, Javier Mendez, ruled out Cain making a return to the MMA. He's wrestling, Mendez. Velasquez's longtime coach said. Thus, it appears Cain will be continuing his pro wrestling career. He was working with AAA before he signed with WWE last year. The former UFC champion was quickly defeated by Brock Lesnar. You know what? He should go to AAA and wrestle for them. Gain some damn experience, my friend. And I'm pretty sure they'll make him the biggest star there, to be honest. As far as AEW going and saying that they should hire Cain Velasquez, I say fuck no. Alright. So, next on our topic today is Bruce Pritchard, who wants something to wrestle with. I'm going to just summarize what he said here, is basically stating, made comments about hiring Hollywood writers for their creative team. Basically, what Bruce had to say was, well, a big part of it was trying to get more creative minds into the wrestling bubble that were from outside the bubble. They were trying to make stars and characters and stories that were kind of similar to like Friends, Chicago Fire, or ER, or what you call a lot of the TV shows you guys watch today, even on the ones on Netflix. They were looking for people who could write and make characters. And Brian Gewirtz is the perfect example of who was really great for the creative team, because he was able to adapt. Him, Tom Blanchard was also one of those ones that was able to adapt. And apparently the guy who I'm pretty much made fun of, Freddie Prinze Jr., Freddie from Scooby-Doo, was able to adapt pretty damn well. In retrospect, the reason why they did adapt so well is because they were fans and they loved the wrestling business and they were students of the game. But just because someone is great, a writer, doesn't mean they're going to be the greatest WWE writer of all time. Which I totally agree. They won't be. Because if they don't, and here's the reason why, guys. It's because if they don't understand how wrestling works or how WWE programming has been for all these past years, how can they write a better show? They don't know the product that well. They don't know how the product works. But when you are somebody who's a student of the game or understands and you're adapting well, it's because you understand what Vince McMahon is looking for. And you're also understanding the business that you're working for, too. All right. And then he also goes on to talk about Larry Mullen, which he states, I don't think I ever met Larry face-to-face. I talked to him several times over the phone, but Larry didn't go to TV and wasn't around a lot. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you one thing about him other than that. I think he was a bony fingers guy. He had fingers like Lurch in the Addams Family. But I can tell you for sure, because I never got to meet the guy. So I'm guessing there's a lot of... I don't know Larry Mullen that well, but I'm pretty sure from the sounds of it, I don't think he might have adapted that well, and I don't think he really followed the product. He could be one of the reasons why the company is in shit story modes too, you know? And then this is what he had to say about what the writing team job is like. Look, it's very demanding, and you're either willing to put in the time and the effort or you're not. And sometimes that can be a rude awakening. And the other thing about writing on a sitcom or a television show is that you're writing 13 episodes at a time. Then you're done. Try doing it every week, live. It's huge. It's a huge difference. And there's nobody else that does what we do. So therein lies the hard to find, to be able to come in, adapt, and you gotta find the right people. My opinions exactly. And here's the thing, guys. The reason why I agree with Bruce Pritchard so damn much is that I have a lot of friends. I also have met people online who like to do fantasy booking for WWE, AEW, New Japan, their own wrestling promotion. I'm like, dude, do you have a vision? Do you know what you're doing after this storyline? You know, I mean, what's your full plan if you're going to do that kind of writing? And to be honest with you guys, this kind of stuff, booking and writing in wrestling, is a hard thing to do. And you're doing television every single week, and you're writing episodes on end, and you're watching the show, and you're trying to keep up with the show. It's a lot of hard fucking work. I know it seems easy because some people were able to do it in the video games. I mean, come on, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 and all that. But, you know, in general, putting together the show is quite difficult, and when you're doing a creative writing team, especially if you're writing scripts from guys, or you're writing bullet points, or even just making sure that you're writing specific things the booker has claimed that he wants, or what the owner of the company wants. I mean, damn. It's one job that isn't easy. It's probably the hardest job in the company next to talent relations. And here's the thing. Either you're good or you're not. And that's basically what Pritchard's saying here. So you got to put in the terms in that. And here's the thing. I believe it's going to be the same way with AEW, too, when they're trying to put shows together as well. So, and it's not because they have a writing team. It's more so the people who are writing the show are probably trying to think of ideas or new things to put together. It's really hard to keep that going every week. And look what he says right here specifically. You're writing 13 episodes at a time. So think about it. How many episodes of WWE do you think the writing team is producing backstage when they're writing? This could be going on episodes on end. You know? I mean, you might have an idea, but then you got to realize you got to make sure, you got to write out the storyline and everything to make that idea happen, you know? And being scripted has nothing to do with it. It's just a small part of it. So, when I look at it, it's just like, if you're going to be writing a show and you're going to do fancy booking, I want you to be realizing you're going to have to think long term. And like I said before, I think Vince's age is catching up to him, and I'm thinking he's maybe lost a lot of the great creative juices that he used to have. You know? And for all we know, a lot of the writers today are not adapting well as they should. So, you gotta remember, creative and writing team is a very demanding job. Alright, next. Vince McMahon sends out a message to all the Essential Heroes and Real Heroes Project. And Vince McMahon says this: to all the tireless and indomitable frontline medical workers, thank you. Hashtag the real heroes. And you know what, guys? I say thank you to those workers as well. Everyone who's been working front lines, whether you're a first responder, a medical attention, ambulance, doesn't matter. I mean, you guys are all the true heroes, and you deserve all the love and respect that you get out of this. You guys are real world heroes at this point. Something that this generation doesn't know exactly what is. If anything, you are the bright and shining example. And I'm just glad that we're going to, acknowledge that. So Vince McMahon's giving you guys his support. I give you guys my support. I think everybody does, and we all thank you. I feel like I can say that. I know everybody else will have a different message, but I feel like everybody can say that. Alright. And that'll be it for today's news, unless we can find something else worth talking about, which I think we might have. Oh, I think I found one or two. So, basically, MJF here, guys. Made his return. Oh, okay. Maybe this was not good to look at right now. Alright, guys, so that'll be it for today's episode. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this episode of Wrestling News. Give me your guys' thoughts, comments, leave a like, subscribe, As far as the ACH thing, is it a sore subject with me? I feel like it's I think it's a very misunderstood situation. What do you guys think? Do I forgive him for what he did? Do I forgive everybody who's being ignorant about it? you know what? I'm willing to move on already from it, and quite honestly, it's getting too much. I think everybody should apologize and say sorry and hug each other, including myself. Jordan Miles really pissed me off during that time because, he wasn't being a man when he had that shit going on. Alright, guys. So that will be it for today's episode. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Take care and have God bless.